What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Coach DTJ channel. Today we're going to be going through Friday's workout. It's going to be our first leg day of the year. Like I said in the last video, Wednesday is upper body, Friday is lower body. Today's workout, what you're going to need is a stool or a chair. And yeah, let's get into it. All right, in today's workout we have a very special guest joining us. Please welcome Coach Dominic.
All right, hi everybody. Today I'm here to help Dylan out because we got a very serious workout.
Very serious.
Today we're going to be focusing on the lower body. So this is our first leg day. And there's a couple of things we want to remember before we get started is that first of all, we're focusing on form first and strength will come later. It's all about getting the form right, and then you're going to be able to work on building muscle later. So in these first couple of videos, a lot of these aren't going to be super crazy high rep counts. It's more so just really focusing on getting everything right for the first couple of tries.
Yeah, and just making sure everyone knows exactly what they're doing, getting used to these new movements, and don't worry, we'll ramp it up later.
Yep, things will get serious in a couple days here. But until then, just keep focused on making sure that you're doing the workouts in the right way so you don't get injured and so that you know exactly what you're doing.
So, as we mentioned from the start, you're going to need a stool or a chair for today's workout.
Stairs will work too. You got steps in front of your house, you can make do with that. Just anything you can really be stepping up on too.
That's all you need, but let's get into the exercises. All right, guys, so upon editing the video, obviously there is a obnoxious line on the right side of the screen. That is Coach Dominic's fault. He forgot to bring the tripod. Assistant Dominic. So blame him, not me. Now back to the video. First one for the day, you got your basic squats. We're just going to be doing 20 of these today, nice and easy. Again, make sure you're focused on getting your legs parallel to the ground. You don't want to be doing these. You don't really get anything out of that.
All the way down. So the further you get down until you're parallel like that, that's engaging more muscle groups. That's going to be better off for you.
Next, we've got our forward lunges. We're going to be doing 16 total of these, 8 for each leg. So what that looks like is you're going to start legs together, step out, a big distance, don't really know how to measure that, and then you're going to lean down. Don't touch your knee to the ground. Make sure that stays off the ground. You're going to get your knee in line with your toe and your nose, and then come back up. And you're gonna alternate, do the other leg, come back up.
We're gonna do 8 for each side. So that'll be 16 total for this exercise.
Yeah. Our next exercise is the squat jump. Now this is one of my favorites. It's a favorite among many. Really useful in Nordic skiing. It really activates your quads and your glutes. And it really emphasizes the explosive movement. That's especially used when you're going up hills and sprinting. Really useful at extending that top gear of performance that we're focusing on this year.
So if you were at like one of the classic hill climbing sessions, this is one of the muscle groups that we were focusing on. We were talking about advanced hill climbing, where you're getting really explosive motions out of your legs. This will help you, doing these exercises will help you so you have better endurance for going up hills like that. And also it'll just be a lot easier because you'll just have more overall power. All right, so what a squat jump looks like, basically gonna squat down to the same position you were in for the last one, except you're gonna throw your hands back and explode out of it, straightening your legs, pushing off with your calves, and creating that jumping motion. So again, you can see Dylan was getting in movement with all throughout his leg, so even in his toes. So that toe motion right there, that'll be really useful for Nordic skiing too, because you'll be able to extend and get power out of just your toe when you're climbing hills. Again, make sure with these you're getting all the way down to parallel. It doesn't help you to go like this. You're not really engaging any of your muscle groups. Make sure you get all the way down. These should be pretty tiring. We're gonna hit these hard this year, but again, today should be nice and easy. Only doing 15 of those. Our next exercise, a bit of a break from hitting those legs really hard. We have 5 slow push-ups, and what you want to do on these slow push-ups
is you're gonna take 3 seconds to go down and then go up at a normal pace. It should be a little more difficult than a standard push-up because your time under tension increases a lot. It's putting a lot more strain on your muscles. But again, we're starting easy. Try not to go too hard. If you need to put your knees down or elevate your arms to take some load off of your legs, feel free to do so. But yeah, here's what they look like.
So we're focusing on going slow on the way down because that gives us much more control. So going down slow like that instead of just dropping down like you might with a normal push-up, this is going to build muscle moving down slowly like that. So similar form to a usual push-up. Everybody knows how those work. But just count 1, 2, 3 as you go down and then back up as normal.
Make sure on those, keep your elbows in. Remember, flying out puts a lot of strain on your shoulders and your elbows, leads to injury easily. So 5 slow push-ups.
Yep, nothing too crazy, just 5 of them. Remember, focusing on form, don't want to injure yourself before the season starts. So working on getting our form right.
Our next exercise is the wide squat. You might notice we're hitting a lot of variations on squats here. That's because squats are really useful. So the wide squat especially emphasizes your adductor muscles, which when you're skate skiing, you're pushing off laterally and you get a lot of this side motion, and these help you bring your legs back together and shove out laterally. So wide squat, what it looks like, you're gonna have your legs apart, knees out, squat down like this, come back nice and simple. Just targets those inner thigh a bit more than your typical squat does.
So for these, the form is, because you've got your legs more wide out, your toes are going to be pointed further out, and that's okay. It's just more so making sure that your feet are a bit wider than usual, and you'll feel it in a different muscle group when you go down. You'll be able to feel it on the inside of your legs here.
Our next exercise, similar to the wide squat, we have the lateral lunge. What this looks like, we did these in our last video. If you watched that, if you didn't, shame on you, go watch that. But if you did, you're gonna step out to the side, go down, make sure that leg goes parallel to the ground. You're gonna hop back up, step back out, just like that. You're gonna do 16 of those, 8 each leg, 8 in a row on one leg, 8 in a row on the other leg. Nice and easy. Next, we have 5 more slow push-ups, just like the previous ones. Make sure you keep those elbows in. Next, we have our step-ups. These are where you're gonna need your stool or chair. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna step to the top and drive up and keep that leg bent on top. Then you're gonna step down, you're gonna switch legs, you're gonna drive up to the top, step down, switch legs, drive up.
So
Like
see how
that.
Dylan's getting one just uniform motion where he's moving all the way up? That's what you want to be focusing on, is getting a really smooth uniform motion, bringing you all the way up. And if you're not able to find a step stool or something, just try and find something of similar height. We've seen that some people are doing these workouts at like a park or someplace, and so if you can find like a park bench, that's a great height to do it on. It's just something that is raised a little bit so you'll be able to feel it when you're stepping on.
Should be right around your knee height is best, but if you have a chair, it's just gonna be a little bit more difficult. Should be just as well though.
Yep.
Be careful on these. It requires a bit of balance, so don't go too quickly. Don't fall over, don't hurt yourself. Again, especially with these early weeks, being really careful on form, safety, don't want to hurt yourself, don't want to go too difficult. So with these step-ups, you're just going to do 10 each leg for a total of 20, alternating every time. Right leg, step down, left leg, step down, just like that. Should be good, should be exciting. We're going to do a lot with these in the future, so.
Yep, focusing on form for the first week, but in the future we're gonna get a ton of power out of these. These are one of the big exercises.
All right, next up we got one of my favorites. We call these Spiderman lunges. They're very similar to your lateral lunge, except you're gonna do one continuous motion back to back. So what that looks like, you're gonna get in your wide lunge, lateral lunge. You're gonna go down to one side, except you're gonna go all the way down. Make sure your thigh is touching the back of your calf.
So instead of going to just parallel, push it all the way down as far as you can go for this one.
And then this requires a lot more balance than a typical lateral lunge. And then without using your arms, you're gonna transition directly over into your other one. And that's the Spiderman, because it looks like the Spiderman motion in the comic books with the fingers and that. Pretty sick. Today, just do a few so you get used to what that feels like. It should be kind of difficult. It requires a lot more coordination and balance than your typical leg exercise. So these are an introduction to pistol squats, if you've ever heard of those. We won't be doing those right now, maybe later in the year once we do a whole bunch more workouts, but Spiderman lunge.
They're a good way to get some basic balance down so that you can do a little bit more complicated strength exercises. And then the other thing is that balance is also going to be super helpful once we're on skis. A lot of skiing efficiency is about really knowing where your ski is, making sure it's flat and level to the ground. So having really good balance and really good strength in your ankles and other places will help you have tons of control once you're out on the snow. So this will be really helpful for that as well.
And along with that balancing, if you haven't gotten a chance to attend Coach Paulson and Coach Atwood's balance session, go do that. We're gonna see if we can get a link to a video of that, put it up on the channel so you guys can get around to watching that if you can't go to live session, but
yeah,
highly recommend that.
For sure. Those are some daily movements that you can practice that'll get you feeling really good and get your balance off to a really good start.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of really tiny muscles in your feet and ankles that help with adjustability and stability when you're balancing. And on a typical day when you're just walking around, you don't really use those too much. Even in a lot of other activities like running, rowing, anything else you might be doing, you're not typically going to use those as much as you do when you're skiing. And so the first time you get out skiing every year, you typically feel those muscles kind of a lot unless you've been doing these balance exercises to keep those in shape. So highly recommend those to get you up to par as soon as possible. All right.
I don't think we're quite good enough.
Put that away. Maybe we can keep this in the video.
20, 10, and 25.
Our next exercise is the Bulgarian Split Squat. Split Squat. Fancy name, but basically what you're gonna do is you're going to put one foot backwards on your chair or stool, and then you're going to squat with your front leg. Come up, just like that.
This is another pretty balance heavy exercise. So when you get your foot back up there, this will feel weird for the first time when you're first going down like that, but it's gonna be a lot of focus on that one foot, making sure you can get your weight over that foot. So this is a really important motion for when you're transferring your weight back and forth on skis, is making sure you can get all your body weight over and then still have enough strength to be able to really control yourself when you're over on that weight.
Yep, this has a lot of application, especially with your glutes. You're gonna really feel it on this one. It's really good at isolating those muscles and again, hitting those quads hard. For those, we're gonna be doing 16 total, 8 each leg in a row, then switch to your other leg. Again, focused on form, balance, doing everything right. Strength will come later, volume will come later. Next exercise, we're gonna do some side leg raises. This looks like you're gonna lay on your side, just like this, like you're going to bed. You're gonna take a nap.
Yeah?
Yep. No, you're going to take your legs like this and you're gonna lift.
Make sure we can see Dylan right. Yeah.
You're gonna lift just like this. You're gonna go 10 each side in a row. Nice and slow and steady. About 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down.
These are pretty straightforward, just making sure that your body is all in line. So Dylan isn't twisted, he isn't curled over, anything like that. And then making sure that it's just a smooth, controlled motion. You're not letting your leg drop or anything. A lot of the muscle controlled strength is built on the way down as well. So controlled up, controlled down. You see that Dylan's not even touching his feet together at the bottom. That's how you know you're getting good control.
Yep. Again, this really emphasizes your extensors, those spreading legs. You can feel the same muscle motions that we do to do those side skate strides that we do in warm-up sometimes. Your lateral leaping motion, a lot of that has to do with these legs opening and closing. Next, we have our TYW raises. If you watched Wednesday's video, it's going to be the same thing. But today, I'm going to be doing it on the ground instead of on a chair. And so what that looks like is you're going to be on your stomach. You're going to take your arms in a T first, and then crunch your shoulders together, focusing on bringing your shoulder blades together. That's where your power is coming from. This really hits your deltoids. Then after you do your T's, you're gonna go straight into your Y's without resting. Again, coming up, strength coming from your shoulders. And then you have your W's. You're gonna make your shape of a W, come up. And for all of those exercises, you're gonna have your thumbs pointed up. So T's, Y's, W's. You're gonna do 10 of each, 30 total. This is a really good, there's a mail truck coming. This is a really good exercise to do in your daily routine. It's really useful, especially with that pulling motion, getting those arms up. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then a thing to remember is it's not about moving your arms around, it's about moving your shoulders. So this is shoulder mobility here. You want your back to be crunching together, so you'll feel that.
See how Dominic's shoulder blades are coming together? If I put my hand in here, they're actually crunching together around my hand. And so that's what you want to see, not just your arms moving around. It's really coming predominantly from your shoulder blades and those back muscles, specifically your deltoids. That's what this is really working on.
The Grumman LLV, a legendary vehicle.
Huh?
The Grumman LLV.
I was giving my mail.
No, sorry. Really?
Oh, awesome.
Yep,
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, you too.
Just received a package, everybody. Special delivery.
Swag. Got some bills. Got some spam.
Ooh, the Costco magazine.
Costco magazine. Let's go. Maybe I'll do an unboxing vid if we get 25 likes.
Costco magazine review.
Our last exercise for today is the standing lateral leg swing. You can either do this leaning on something or just up against a wall. Or if you're feeling really confident about your balance, you can do this without leaning on something. I am not, so I'm gonna use this to lean on. You're basically gonna plant yourself kind of like you're doing your rows, single arm rows. So you're gonna plant yourself, and then you're gonna leg swing as high as you can, and then lower it under control. If you can get to totally parallel to the ground, props to you. I cannot, I'm not flexible enough. But
Spend a lot of time running, and this one ends up being kind of uncomfortable. But this will be good for getting you lots of good flexibility, but also strength for when we're pushing off skiing.
Yep. That was an adorable puppy. Finally, to wrap up the video, you know the drill, core, longer than you typically do. If you're a minute per exercise, do a minute 30. If you're a minute 30, do 2 minutes. Really push yourself. We want to really feel that today, the next day. And then, as always, make sure you stretch, everything out. Again, early in the year, really don't want to be hurting anything. Just getting used to all the movements, getting used to your body moving, really set up a rhythm, a schedule, a routine, get that flexibility into your routine every day, never miss it. Anything from you, Dominic?
Not really. Aside from at the end, remember with your core, the core exercises we've been doing for a while, and you're good at those. So you can really push yourself on the core at the end. The core strength is always important, but we have those exercises down really well. And so at the end, once you're done with all of your new strength exercises, really give it all you got with your core. But aside from that, good luck, everybody.
Yep, good luck.
Remember, Strava, it didn't happen.
Strava, it didn't happen. That's gonna be the end of the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Remember, 25 likes. Gonna do the opening of that mail, Costco magazine review.
Yep.
Subscribe.
Let's get those likes coming.
Hit the bell.
Yep.
And we'll see you all. Peace.